time of year really, but this time especially. So how about making some meals ahead of time for the whole family? Jonathan Collins is here to walk us through. So the first one, we're going to make a butternut squash casserole.
Butternut squash casserole. So this is a main, this is a side dish, but the nice thing is it's really hearty for this time of year.
Right.
It can go into the freezer. You can make it right. Like the beautiful thing is you can use it the day that you make it.
Yeah.
But it's great. Like when you're making one dish, why not make 2 or 3
Absolutely.
and put some aside? But I'll show you how easy it is. So
okay, so people love butternut squash.
Butternut squash, acorn, whatever you like. And the key is just to make the prep really simple.
Okay.
So simply peel the butternut squash. And, the nice thing about using these fresh ingredients is that in season, they're inexpensive, but they give tons of flavor.
They do.
And in this case, with the butternut squash, everybody's going crazy in the studio here because I added bacon. So, like I said, generally speaking, I add bacon. I put bacon in just about everything,
Good
and I
for
cook
you.
it, even if it's not in the recipe,
Yes.
I'll cook it.
Good.
So
Good.
We'll tuck that aside, and I'll just show you a really simple technique.
Okay.
So all we're going to do is simply slice that. You can see it reveals that beautiful flesh. And if you just about 1 inch to ½ an inch, but bite-sized pieces.
Yeah.
And
you're getting good nutrients and amazing vitamins. That orange, that bright orange, so
absolutely.
good for you.
And we're going to develop flavor, so you can
Yeah.
see how easy it is to just make a really nice large dice. And I've got that started right here.
Yes.
So we're going to use the technique of sauté. So
Okay.
I've got a little bit of butter and a little bit of olive oil in the pan, and I'm just going to go about to medium-high heat.
Yeah.
And literally in goes the squash, and you can see how bright and beautiful that is to begin with.
It is.
And you might ask, well, why don't we just incorporate all that together and just put it in the oven? But it's at this point that we really begin to develop the flavors, and it starts to caramelize, and anything, like just you can imagine taking a bite of a raw squash. There's no flavor there.
Right.
But the flavor literally needs to be unlocked, and it's sauté that'll do that.
Got it. So you want to mix all those flavors together before you even get it in the casserole dish.
Exactly.
And you're adding leeks to that.
Yeah, so the leeks are really simple trim. I'll show you. With the leeks, you want to use just the whites. We'll take these are great for stalks, and take off the root, tuck that aside, and literally all you do is slice it in half, and then half again, and then again it's the same. It's bite-sized pieces.
Nice.
So it's easy prep.
Yeah.
And when you saute it like this, you're bringing all of those flavors together. We've got a little bit of fresh thyme that we've stripped off in there. Of course, the fresh thyme, it just smells incredible.
So good, but not as good as the bacon.
Not as good as bacon. So I can.
That's all right.
Let's jump ahead to the bacon. Do you want to do the bacon now?
I can chop the bacon for you.
Can you do that?
Oh,
Wonderful.
yes.
Okay, good.
And I never volunteer to help in these segments.
Except
But
when
it's
there's
bacon, so I'll do it for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Look at that. So the nice thing is, again, you want to crisp up the bacon just before you use it.
Okay.
That's perfect. Doing
Thank
a great
you.
job. So what brings this all together, I've got 5 eggs, and I'm just going to add 1 more. So eggs in, and we'll whisk that up.
And this is going to be your binder.
It is. Well, what it is literally is we're essentially making like a savory bread pudding. So a little bit of cream, and it does bring it all together. It allows you to serve it. Like I said, this is enough to have as a complete meal.
Yeah.
But let's get assembling.
Okay.
And the nice thing is with casseroles, you can do individual portion, or you can do a large portion.
You gotta love this. This is so fancy when you get your own little portion.
It is. It makes it fun too, and it's easy to store in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
So a little bit of just whatever crusty bread that you have, and then some of this beautiful topping. You can see how gorgeous this is going to look.
That looks amazing. It smells amazing. I came downstairs this morning. I thought, oh my God, I need more breakfast.
And I'm
You
gonna
just smell the studio and you just start salivating.
I'm gonna switch back to you for the bacon. I'm gonna let you put the bacon on top, okay?
I can do that for you.
There we go.
So does your recipe on the Cityline website actually incorporate bacon?
It does.
Oh, it does?
It
Okay.
does.
I thought maybe you just brought it for me.
No, I didn't. So you can put whole pieces on top, tuck a little piece on top.
That's
it's really
a great
nice.
idea.
There, lots of bacon. And then literally all you do is just simply, I'm just gonna add a bit more cream here. Just take this mixture and just gently pour it right on top.
Right on top.
Just like this.
You know, you hear about, we've got so many recipes for casseroles, but I really rarely see them incorporating bacon, and I love the fact that you've used the butternut squash because we have so much of it this time of year, and sometimes you start running out of ways to use it.
Yeah, and
so
especially if you want to sneak it in, right? If you want to sneak it in, you don't want to have, if somebody doesn't like the taste of a whole butternut squash or the soup, this is a nice way to get those little pockets of flavor in there and make it really flavorful. So this is going to go into the oven. You can bake at about 350 degrees.
Okay.
It'll take anywhere from about 35 to 45 minutes, depending on your oven.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, so it's very quick. Now, if you were going to take this and put it into the freezer, what I often do is I take and I line the container with some parchment or with some plastic wrap, put everything in, freeze it, and then you can literally take it out, wrap that up, and just put it back in the freezer so that you can do multiple portions.
That is excellent. Give it up for Jonathan Collins. That's what a great recipes on our website. So yeah, you should actually take your youngest.
Oh yeah.
So tell them how many kids you have. I can't remember.
5 kids.
Five kids.
So
and the age range?
So Blake is 6 and the oldest Dakota is 25. So
amazing.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
busy house. Yeah. So I didn't need to become a chef like as a career. I had to become a chef to feed everybody.
It's worked out well for you, I would say.
It has.
Yes.
And this recipe is big for us because it's all about leftovers. Now, if you've ever had, do you have bags, like partial bags of pasta kicking around the house?
Yes.
Well, instead of them opening the cupboard and them falling out on you, we're going to make a nice little dish here. Also, the other thing I am notorious for is having a drawer full of cheese.
Yes.
So there will be that Gouda and that cheddar and a little bit of brie and everything else. And you're like, well, what can I do with them? They're getting a little old and crusty, but you know when you throw a little heat on them,
you're all good.
They turn into this beautiful sauce. So I'm going to show you very quickly how to make a Mornay, and we're going to talk about assembling this. But let's start with the pasta.
Let's start with the pasta.
So key to pasta, you need a rolling boil.
Okay.
And we're just going to take a little bit of each kind. So we'll just dump it and mix them all together. Individually they are gorgeous, but together it is like a little cosmopolitan pasta party. It's awesome.
It is. Do you care about the cooking time on each one?
I do. So these are all relatively the same thickness. Okay. So we're good there. So that water is salted. It's a rolling boil, and I want to make sure it's about 3/4 full so that as it boils, it can move the pasta around so it's not going to stick together. No more sticky pasta.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
And then something that will stick to your ribs is the Mornay. Now, Mornay sauce is a classic sauce, a mother sauce, and all it is, you start with a little bit of butter in the pan. So you just melt a little bit of butter, and then you just add an equal amount of flour. So we're just going to put flour in, and this makes a roux.
Right.
So the roux is, of course, the secret to getting a beautiful, thick sauce. And you have a white roux or brown roux. Here we have a white roux.
Yep.
And we're going to develop the flavor a little bit and a little bit of milk in there. But all you have to do is take the cheeses, and once you have that, and just begin putting them in, and then you get this beautiful, let's have a look at this. Look at the consistency.
Them down and
literally melting them down. So this is just, So this is why you need to get the leftovers out so there's no more messes. So it's really nice consistency.
Right.
And then again, you can have a little bit of fun with it because we've got personal size, we've got, this is, really this is like a mac and cheese for you.
It really is,
But we're going to kick it up a notch.
Fancy.
It's fancy because we're putting one of my favorite ingredients, mushrooms.
Nice.
So just a very quick little 411 here on some mushrooms. I've got some cremini. These beautiful shiitakes where the stems need to be removed.
Okay.
And the portobellas.
Those are like the daddies.
Exactly. So this is something you literally just want to make a nice fine slice. And you'll see when I do one that size, I'm also going to do even the little shiitakes, roughly the same size, and the creminis as well. There's no sense worrying or wasting any of this. Now, can you smell it? Do you love mushrooms?
I smell it.
You love mushrooms?
And I do love mushrooms, and I know, there are so many non-meat eaters out there that really do rely on mushrooms for the texture of it.
Absolutely. This
especially a portobello.
Umami flavor, right? This is that what you're missing if you're not having any meat. So a little bit of fresh thyme, you can smell it as soon as it hits that. So what kicks this up a notch is the beautiful mushrooms. So all you do, finish pasta. Now, when you take the pasta out, you want to take it out just before it's done.
Right.
Because we're going to add a little more liquid, and we want it to soak up some of that flavor.
Got it.
So literally just going to add some of this. Now, look how pretty that, right? It's a Cosmo party, right?
It's just a gorgeous.
It looks really, really nice.
I just love pasta in any form, any time.
Agreed.
I think pasta's beautiful.
Agreed.
The lovely thing.
So our mushrooms are coming along nicely. Now you can see they've developed some nice color.
Yes.
So for our purpose here, I'm just gonna put these literally right across the top.
Nice.
So we're not hiding these beautiful mushrooms. We want to put them right where we can see them.
Do you have any mushroom haters amongst the kids?
Well, my wife is. I found a giant truffle when we were in Italy, and I drove around with it in the car, and it just permeated. And she was pregnant at the time.
She's like, get it out.
And you know, pregnant women, their sense of smell is like off the charts. So there's no truffles in our house anymore.
Got it.
So then we'll just look at this. We'll pour this beautiful Mornay on top.
Oh man,
it's a beautiful finish. So you're gonna have all as it bakes in the oven at 350. The beautiful mushroom flavor is gonna come through the sauce. It's gonna get into that pasta, and then now you have that. If you haven't made a Mornay or a bechamel, now you've got that in your arsenal to be able to take anything over the holidays. If you tuck it in a Mornay or tuck it in a bechamel and bake it, you're good for leftovers.
Oh, Jonathan, so good. Cityline.ca for this good stuff. Let's go to break. We got more coming up.